You walk away from a conversation feeling entirely drained. You agreed to something you didn't want to do, and somehow you're the one apologizing. This lingering sense of unearned guilt is a signal that you've been navigated into a space of exhausted confusion. Today, we are treating these interactions as predictable behavioral patterns that can be systematically identified and neutralized. To do that, we are going to build a personalized tool you can use in real time. This is your Manipulation Defense Playbook. Open up the Notes app on your phone or grab a piece of paper. Create 3 specific headers: reality bending, false affection, and emotional pressure. Translating a raw emotional reaction into a written, premeditated defense shifts your focus from feeling the pressure to analyzing the tactic. Your first header, Category 1, reality bending, tracks tactics used to attack your basic perception of truth. Gaslighting operates as a slow rewriting of history. Someone tells you things didn't happen the way you remember until you start to question your own sanity. Record this rule in your playbook. If your memory is denied, then you must write the facts down and trust your gut. You do not need their permission to believe your own experience. Add the acronym DARVO to this section. It stands for deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. When you bring up a valid concern, the manipulator denies it ever happened, attacks your character for mentioning it, and finally flips the script. They cast themselves as the victim and you as the offender, forcing you to defend yourself instead of addressing their behavior. To block this reversal, write down this script. If the original issue is being buried, then say, "I will talk, but only about the original issue." These tactics rely on inducing confusion. Maintaining a clear, factual record of what was said prevents that confusion from taking root. Under your second header, Category 2, false affection, we are logging manipulation tactics used to create emotional dependency. Add love bombing to your list. This involves intense, rushed flattery, sudden gifts, and talk of a long-term future within the first few dates. It creates an emotional high that makes it difficult to walk away later when the behavior changes. Use this rule to evaluate the situation. If a relationship moves too fast, then your action is to look at their patterns, not their promises, and slow down. Real connection takes time to form. Next is the white knight tactic. This person stirs up conflict or quietly chips away at your confidence, only to step in and offer protection. They built the fire just to show up with the hose. Write this in your playbook. If they consistently fix problems they helped create, then you can take genuine help while retaining your own power. You are capable of standing on your own. The final tactic in this section is breadcrumbing. This is the practice of offering vague, intermittent attention, a random text or a sudden compliment, to keep you invested without ever committing to a real relationship. To end a breadcrumbing loop, you stop chasing the trail. If someone's interest only shows up in flashes, decide it is not enough and stop replying. These behaviors weaponize the desire for care. Enforcing these strict boundaries ensures you only accept genuine connection rather than a performance. For the final section, Category 3, emotional pressure, we will list tactics designed to make you feel bad for setting a boundary. Guilt tricking turns your empathy against you. It makes saying no feel like a failure, turning your past kindness into a debt you are always trying to repay. Combat this with a specific internal question. If you are feeling unearned guilt, then ask, did I violate my own values, or am I being manipulated into feeling like I did? Triangulation involves pulling a third person into a conflict to make you feel outnumbered. When you are up against an invisible team, add this script to your notes. Talk to me, not about me. The silent treatment uses absence as a punishment. It is a deliberate withdrawal of presence, someone going cold and unreachable until you give in and apologize for something you didn't do. Instead of chasing the silence, write down this boundary. State clearly, I am open to talking, but I won't be punished with silence. Then hold your ground and disengage. Pressure tactics only succeed if you give in to the discomfort. Holding firm to your own boundaries removes the manipulator's leverage. This completed playbook is now a comprehensive framework. You have identified the mechanics of reality bending, false affection, and emotional pressure, and you have the scripts ready to respond. Screenshot this document or pin this note to the top of your app. These rules must be accessible in seconds when a conversation turns toxic. When you deploy these scripts, your responsibility ends with the statement of your boundary. You are not required to provide further justification. Clarity comes from recognizing manipulation as it happens. These tools provide the specific language required to hold your ground and end the cycle of control.